Material is very, very simple for today's project. You guys are not even gonna believe me for these materials. Sadie, let's go overhead because I'm gonna get all my finished projects out of the way. Now, this is it. You need a Cricut mat, all right? You need your mat, and then you need cardstock, and you need some adhesive. This is what we're making. Let me show you how adorable. I'm also forgetting one material. You're gonna need a Cricut pen. If you've never mastered Cricut pens, can we just agree that today is gonna be the day you master them? Because
today is the day.
it is so fun, all right? Let me finish.
Sorry, I took it apart.
No, it's okay. I'm putting it back together. Okay, look at this. So here's what we're making. This is an adorable, oh my gosh, I totally forgot a part of it. Hold on, let's go back to the main camera while I fix my little project. Hello. This is so adorable, and the glitter cardstock is so neat. Oh my gosh, I need to do both sides at once.
Do you need help?
No,
Can I just squeeze both sides together?
Yeah. Oh, can I just tell y'all, I had a stomach virus yesterday, and I am not 100% with it. So I'm just grateful to be here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm grateful for you to be here
I'm grateful.
too.
Okay, so let's go overhead. This is our amazing little project we're making today. First of all, we're using the amazing cardstock from Ashley Falco. How many of you have not purchased from Ashley yet? Because if you have not purchased any of her Celebrations Warehouse cardstock, you're missing out. We're using it in today's project. This glitter cuts like butter. It's flake free, and it is so much fun. So this is not all we're making. Look right inside. When you open it up, it turns out to be so adorable because look right here. When you open it up, look, how stinking adorable is this? When you open it up, look at this. We're gonna teach you how to make this part too. So we're gonna teach you how this part can go right in here, and then it slides right in, just like so, and you can close it up. So super simple. Again, all the supplies you need is your Cricut mat, you need your Cricut pen, you need your ATG gun, and your cardstock. That's it, all right? That is it. Super, super simple. So it's really, really good. If you have not gotten anything from her yet, Lauren, will you pull up the coupon code? Because I think we have a coupon code to give them. Courtney texted it to us, so we'll be able to find that.
Let me find that.
Super fun. We love her cardstock. So let's go ahead and click on the gingerbread envelope. This gingerbread envelope is right here, and we're going to simply click download, all right? So if you're not a member and you want this file, go ahead and grab that membership so that you can participate in today's project and all the projects this week and so much more. We'll now go over to Cricut Design Space after we unzip this file. You're always going to get a Maker's Gonna Learn file zipped. So you just have to click on it to unzip it. And yes, our cardstock that we use is Celebration Warehouse from Ashley Falco. Incredible. So yay, love it, love it, love it. Congrats, Luke. But then over here at Cricut Design Space, I'm going to show you how easy it is to upload this file. So just go over here to upload, click upload image, and you can select, or you can just kind of, drag and drop it. So I have my gingerbread envelope here. We're going to drag it, and then we're going to drop it right here. We'll click upload, and as you can see, we have it right here, add to canvas. So this right here, we've added it to canvas, and this is what it should look like. How many of us in the comments feel totally confident working with envelopes and score lines and everything like that? Drop a comment yes in the comments if you feel super confident, or drop a no in the comments if you struggle or you get confused really easily when you are, if you are, ever confused or frustrated when it comes to score lines and everything like that. So drop yes or no in the comments, all right? Because this process and this technique is something that we're going to teach you today, and then you're going to have for time and time again. All right, so we're seeing yeses, we're seeing nos, right? So it's a good mix. So whether or not you feel super confident, we are going to just assure you when working with Makers Gonna Learn files what to do. All right? So good. So good. So if you're still confused or you're super confident, we're going to either reassure your confidence or help you get confident today. All right? So let's go back to the share screen, and this is what you need to know. All right? The first thing you need to do is select this layer. You want to always, in files like this that have score lines, you want to go out there and find where the score line layer is. So it's pretty simple to tell. Like, this is the score line layer, this is the cut layer.
So one thing that I want to make clear right here at this point is Cricut Design Space has issues bringing in files that we have created score lines for and recognizing them as score lines. So if you were just to take this right now, size it, go to make it, what's going to happen is that those are all going to be basic cut lines. So it's going to cut everything off. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you are changing your score line, your basic cut lines to score lines so that it does score.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
That is perfect. So that's what you want to really make sure you're aware of. So all you need to do is you need to go ahead and turn this layer from a basic cut to a score line. So instead of trying to always follow through and make sure that, you know, we have that available, this is our simple workaround. We bring it in as a basic cut and we go to operation and we simply go ahead and select score. All right, now let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's zoom in right here. Look, you can tell that it's a score line now, right? You can totally tell this is a score line. You can see the dash marks, everything like that. We also did not ungroup this. You do not have to ungroup it to change a layer's functionality, all right? You do not have to ungroup it to change a layer's functionality, right? So good. Now, let's do a little Cricut quiz. Let's do a Cricut quiz. Lauren.
Yes.
And everyone in the chat.
Yes.
Since this is a layer that is grouped together, do I need to attach it? In the chat, since this layer is already grouped together and my score lines look perfect on the canvas, everything like that, do I need to attach it? Comment yes or no in the comments. Yes, you still need to attach it. No, you don't need to attach it because it is grouped, right? And you can tell this is grouped because, like, if I try to select just this layer and move it around, oh, it let me move it. But it is grouped.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
That's the new update.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can select one layer, although it's grouped together, you can select one layer on your layers panel and still manipulate it.
Okay.
So if you click the grouping layer, it all moves together.
Right.
If you click the individual layer, it moves the individual layer.
That's crazy. Back a few design spaces ago, it wouldn't let you do that. All we need to do now, before we move on to the next step, is we must attach it, which is really simple because you just select over here, you select your layer that is grouped, right? And you want to attach it. Boom, boom. That simple step is go keep it all together. And look, when we click make it, you can see it's all on one map. If we had went ahead and not attached it, it would be on two separate maps, all right? So this is our envelope. It is not sized appropriately yet. We're going to do that now. So let's go ahead and grab a basic shape. We're going to do this rounded edge square, and we're going to unlock it, all right? So what we're going to do for this is I'm just going to give you the size that we did because you guys know I want to make it super simple for you. And I know you guys love, love, love to know exactly what we did. So that's what I'm going to give you today. How about that, right? You guys will be very appreciative to know exactly the numbers that we are doing. So I'm taking just so that you guys are aware, I'm taking the number of the piece of paper that we're going to put in it, and I'm just adding a 1/4 inch across the whole thing. So what we're going to do is for the inner piece, we are going to use 4 1/4, all right? So this is 4.25 by, this is for our square, our little rectangle, 3 1/4, all right? So 3.25. So 4 1/4 by 3 1/4.
And that size should fit any gift card on it beautifully.
Yes, exactly. So this is it, and then this is our actual
insert.
You know, this is the insert. This is the envelope that we're building the envelope for the insert. So what that means is we need to make sure to leave space to where this will fit in comfortably. So let's take this layer and size it down some, right? If we made it to where it could just barely fit this, that would be really tight. And you know, cardstock is only so strong. So we like to give just a little bit of wiggle room, and you can zoom in and be as precise as you want. I like to leave, you know, something like this. So just any envelope, you can tell it's gonna fit in there snug, but it's not gonna be too tight or anything like that.
Right.
Okay?
And this is not, the gingerbread is not the only option we have for this. We do have a snowman and a Christmas tree as well.
We have the gingerbread, snowman, or Christmas tree. 3 options for you all this time of year. Okay, so good. Again, the size for that rectangle is 4.25 by 3.25, and you just size that envelope down to leave some around the edge.
Now,
all right?
One thing I do want to make clear, the other files will probably, they're gonna come in a different size than the gingerbread, and y'all, that's okay. You can resize that envelope.
Yes.
What you're gonna do, you're just gonna create your insert to 4 and, did you say 4 3/4?
4 1/4.
4 1/4 in
by
width.
3 1/4.
3 1/4 in height. And then you're gonna size your envelope around your insert. That is the easiest way to make sure your envelope fits. Whether you're creating a card, a gift card insert, it really doesn't matter. Whatever you are creating to go inside your envelope, create that first, size your envelope around it.
Yeah. So do you think this shape envelope could be used as a money holder, long rectangle? Would the flap still work as designed? Ooh, Lorraine, interesting question.
What I would do is I would just make the envelope the same size as like you would with a gift card holder, and you would just stick the money down in it.
I love that. So yeah, you could totally do that. Or you could literally, what we're gonna do here, you could like fold your money and just like ATG it onto here. So if you don't wanna do a gift card, feel free to put, you know, a folded $100 bill. I've never had anyone get mad at me giving them a crisp 100 or 20 or 50 or 10 or $1. $1 still makes me holla. I always think back to Honey Boo Boo of like 2013. $1 make me holla, Honey Boo Boo. Anyway, guys, that is a little throwback. But that is it when it comes to the basic version. But here at Makers Gonna Learn, we are not basic. We elevate everything we do here. So over at the font area, what I want you to understand and to be able to do is search Sketch. And when you search Sketch at the font area of Makers Gonna Learn, all of these fonts are going to be perfect to work with any type of writing or anything like that inside of Cricut. So what that means is it's going to write just regular instead of doing bubble fonts. Okay, it's not a bubble font. It is going to draw and write just as we would write or draw, okay? So you can see all of our sketch fonts we have available for you. Extra Guac, my personal favorite still to this day is Barefoot Joanna. There's so many, so pick your favorite. Mary Catherine's a beautiful one. Albuquerque, so many. So just pick your favorite, okay? And then come over, you can really download, let's just download Albuquerque. And when you download it, all you're gonna do is open this up and install it onto your computer. And then once you have installed it, you'll come over here to Cricut and you're going to reload this page. Before I reload anything, I always save my project. This is gift card holder Tanner. So we're going to save that, and you can see it's saved. And then now what I'm going to do, if you have a Cricut Joy, this will be enough for Make-a-thon. We will definitely help you and make sure you get the best experience possible. So if I'm now here, and the reason we have to reload our project and Design Space is so that we refresh the system so that our new font is available. If you download a font and don't do this, your font will not be there. So click Reload. It's simply going to reload. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And now we can add in a new text box, and we can find our sketch font under System. All right. Under System, you can see Albuquerque Sketch. And then look, you'll never have to download that font again, and it's really easy to be there. So we can put love, Courtney, and if I could spell, Courtney and Tanner. Beautiful. Love the Albuquerque Sketch font. We can size this down. So good, bring it down here. I'm gonna zoom this in. There's only 2 more steps, y'all. Only 2 more steps. Now, similar to our amazing score lines, our draw lines are the same. So we have to tell it, hey Cricut, don't cut that. This is actually going to draw. So we're gonna use a pen. So now that's going to draw. And then, hey Cricut, can you draw it onto my red layer because it's an insert, okay? So let's go ahead and select that square, Command, select the square. You can see both of these are highlighted green, all right? That's when you know they're both selected. Come down here to the bottom right and just click Attach. That is it. That is it. You can cut this over and over, cut so many of these out for Christmas this year, you're gonna be good to go. You're gonna have 2 layers, 2 different mats. This is it. Do any of you have questions before we go out of Design Space and move into the cutting portion? And we'll answer questions about Make-a-thon or any questions that you have. So, Lauren, is there any questions?
Not that I've seen so far, but I do love the idea. Ooh. Darlene said I'm going to make them and use them at a craft show.
Yes.
This would also be a great something to make like a set of 5 of these.
Oh, yeah.
And sell them as like a set of 5 gift card holders for people at craft shows.
Oh, totally.
I mean,
totally.
$1 a piece. And you're still making a profit.
I mean, yeah, the cost is very low. You'll spend time building them, but you know, you could process them at whatever you wanted to, right? Like it's so good. So these are really, really awesome. So as you can see here, we can just go ahead and click Make It. And then what you're going to see is it's going to start with our first mat, which is this insert. And we are going to use the 0.4 tip pin, which we'll talk about. I'm just going to first add my cardstock here, put it in the top left corner. So exciting.
One other thing that somebody did say that I want to make sure that we address.
Yeah.
Someone asked which would be better, a 65-pound cardstock versus a 110.
Oh, I love that question.
So for this specific project, there are a lot of times that we do use a heavier weight cardstock. Mm-hmm. However, for this one specifically, I would probably suggest a 55-80 at most.
That's literally, I think a 65 for this project would actually be your best friend. And you guys know here at Makers Gonna Learn, I support 110-pound cardstock the majority of time. But what you have to be aware of is that, you know, your project here needs to be flexible.
Yes,
your paper needs to be flexible.
And the little tiny gingerbread, Christmas tree, snowman, whatever you have, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and say that it can be finicky to work with.
Oh my gosh, it totally
you have
can.
To, like, fold them both together, place them through that slit. I mean,
let's just go overhead and talk about that while we're here. I mean, you have to be super like it can rip off really, really easily.
Yes.
So you want to, you know, just be gentle with it. Like this is paper, this is, you know, art and, you know, things like that. So you could see with the Christmas tree, you could see how fragile, you know, that it can be, and you could easily rip it off. The bigger you make it, and I think that's one reason why we like doing it this way, because it can be larger, and the larger it is, the more stable it will be.
Yes.
So that's kind of a good hack there too. Is that glitter cardstock only 65? That's it?
I think it's going to be a little bit more than 65. I think it's about
It's not
an 80.
much.
But
Yeah,
it's not
I think it's
much.
80. 80 is perfect for this too. 65 is actually really low, but yeah, this is really, it feels really good. So this cut file is on the website. It's linked down below. Let's go ahead and load our mat inside of our Cricut Explorer 3 today. All right, so super fun. All we need to do now, Sadie, let's go over to our Cricut machine. We're going to open clamp A. We're gonna take out our scoring blade and we're just gonna put in our pin. Now, always keep the lid on it right here. We're gonna place it in. The Cricut is going to draw first and then it will cut. So once we're in there, I'm using that medium cardstock setting, and then we're just go press the play button. And look at how great that paper just cut. So this is our first project. It's so simple. I'm gonna cut a lot of these out when I do this project for myself as gifts. And then we're just gonna cut our second mat, and we're gonna take our pin out, and we're gonna put our scoring stylus in. And then what I'm going to do is, since Ashley's here and told me that it's not 80-pound cardstock, it's actually 110, I'm going to switch to a glitter cardstock setting. All right, glitter, and we're just gonna use glitter cardstock. Beautiful. And then you're going to load this in, and we're just gonna change out the pin with the stylus. All right. So it measures the mat. If you guys didn't know, that's what it does in this step. And then what we're going to do is just insert this and then close it in. You'll see it's nice and taut. And then what we're going to do is we're going to simply go through and press the play button, and it'll be so good. So it's now going to go through and score, and then it's going to go ahead and cut. Some other ones would be easy to do that.
Right.
Beautiful. Look at how great it cut. Like it just cuts so good. Okay, so then we're gonna just peel this back. You'll see, you'll wanna be careful when you're peeling it back, because what I just wanna let you guys know, when you're doing this the first time, is, you know, it's still attached to the bottom and the top. So you might be like, oh my gosh, this doesn't, you know, it is cut all the way through, and you could rip it really easily. So just be careful, okay? Be careful. That's all I want you to know. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Rather than, you could totally just enlarge the entire thing up until the size of the mat. So like you could totally, you know, have a really big envelope. So
yes.
Super, super fun. I love seeing you guys throw out all these different ideas. Now, one supply we did not mention was our amazing bone folder. I always love having a bone folder on the table, and I recommend having one in your craft stash too. So even with glitter cardstock, it makes a score line. So don't feel like you can't do glitter cardstock when using scoring, because it works. It still works. You just have to, you know, it's a really big test for your eyesight, and I just recommend being in good lot. Once you get a scoring line started, it's easy for it to kind of feel its way through. All right. And guys, we're almost done with the project. How in this world? This project is so quick. How in the world? So then you can simply, you know, ATG gun your gift card to the paper, just like this. So good. It goes in here. Oh, we gotta bone fold this one down as well. Lauren, did I not do this right?
No, you.
Oh, I did. Sorry. I was like, No, I didn't. I think I was supposed to cut it backwards.
I didn't have to.
Come over here.
Okay,
Look at this.
I'm coming.
I think I needed to cut it backwards because now my little buddy's backwards. Oh, I'm silly. I'm silly. Lord, like I said, I'm just a silly guy today.
See, you.
Yes, I had it back. I thought this was.
Okay.
I know. Guys, if I tell you I had the stomach bug yesterday, I don't know if you were here for that. I had the stomach bug yesterday, and I'm just grateful to be here. So thank you, Lauren, for confirming I'm not mentally crazy, or the file is not totally different. So this is when you could use the bone folder in this part of the design to make sure that it can stay up, or you can just use your fingers, all right? But what we need to do before we actually build it is we need to glue down just these three, all right? So this needs to be attached here, and it needs to be attached here. So this is where we pull out our ATG gun, and sometimes I get confused on where I should put my adhesive. So I just wanna have that conversation with you guys real fast for this project. Some of us would put the ATG here and then just fold it over, and that would be fine. What I'm gonna recommend is to go ahead and put the adhesive right here on this cardstock and then fold it in, because you don't wanna have too much adhesive on this piece and then it go to the inside of the envelope, okay? So that's just a simple craft hack, and I'll kind of share with you how to fix it if you ever have too much ATG or something, okay? So just like that, we can fold it down. And then now that we applied it on this side, you can see I have a little ATG right here that we don't want, and this side has none. So what you can do is take your finger and you can just literally wipe away any of that ATG and it comes right off. So that's my little hack for that. And then look, you have your envelope almost done. What is a good substitute for the ATG gun? Karen, you could use...
They have double-sided tape runners that you can buy.
Yeah.
Like Scotch, I think, has their own, has a double-sided tape runner that you can get on Amazon. They're disposable, so
Yeah.
you can't buy the inserts to put more in. But I used to use those all the time with crafting.
Yeah, look at Michael's, because no other tape runner is comparable. This is the best one. If someone commented theirs broke right after they got it, I've used them for mine last 5 years or more. It's probably user error with all the love. And when you open it, I have a video on how to change these out, but you could think it's broken when it's not. So there is a learning period, but it saves you a lot of money to have the best adhesive.
Also,
So
if it did break that fast, the first
they will
thing I would
totally
be
help
doing
you.
is
Yeah.
emailing Scotch and trying to get a replacement.
Yeah. So now we'll place this inside. Again, just ATG gun your gift card in, and then close it up. And look at how stinking adorable this turned out. You guys are not gonna believe how fun it is. And I will say the first time getting it in is the hardest, but look at that. Look at that. You can use the bone folder too to help any of it stick with it, because sometimes the little, look, oh my gosh, look at that.
How cute.
Look at it. You've made awesome, awesome envelopes now. How about that? This is so much fun. I love the glitter. It's bringing all the energy this holiday season. You can also make the tree. You can also make the snowman, which is super fun. I don't have a snowman on the table, so yay, love it, love it, love it, love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone back to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel.
Yay!
Woohoo! We are so excited to be here with you today. I mean, this is gonna be...
This is a good one.
This is such a good one here today. A lot of people are tuning in for our craft today.
Oh yeah, so today we're gonna be making the bar necklaces using your Cricut. This is all gonna be under $10.
No way.
Yeah, so super excited for that.
And you're using the Cricut.
We are using the Cricut.
No way.
One thing that I do want to make clear before we get started is you do have to have either a Maker or a Maker 3 to do this craft. because we are using the engraving tool.
I love that.
So just to be clear, you do have to have a Maker or a Maker 3.
Yes.
Unless somehow, if you can figure out how to cut vinyl that small.
Now, that would be hard. So
Yeah.
what Lauren's pretty much saying is if you've had an Explorer and you're humoring the idea of a Maker, hone in today on the project
Yes.
to see the adaptive tool highlighted.
Yes.
Now, a lot of you may raise your hand, whoa, 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 I know a way I could backhand and engrave with my Explorer. You are welcome to do so. But if you're wanting to get precise results every time, if you're wanting to get the best quality and consistency, which is what we have to teach because we teach to the masses,
Yes.
This is the best way to do it. And this looks so good. Like,
And
I'm
these
so
are
excited
so
for this project.
trendy. So trendy.
Well, Tabitha, who runs our email marketing, her husband paid over $100
Yes.
for her to have something almost identical. So she's ecstatic for this tutorial.
Yeah, I also have one. I don't wear it anymore, but I got one a couple years ago with my father's handwriting on it. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to take handwriting and turn it into an SVG today. We are taking a Maker's Gonna Learn font, which comes in super, super handy, the fact that we have those writing fonts.
Yes.
Because the writing fonts are key when it comes to engraving with your Cricut.
I love that.
So definitely, you'll
have to show us the writing fonts because we all need to see it. Those are going to be good.
The writing fonts was one of the big things when I first came here, and I think it wasn't my very first project, but it was close to the first.
Yeah, one of the first
was teaching y'all how to fill in your fonts using Maker's Gonna Learn fonts.
We love it.
And then after that, I requested, hey, can we get some writing fonts, like single line fonts? So when we come up with those, I was super, super excited.
Yes, I love that. Now,
so today we're going to be making these beautiful bar necklaces, and I know you can't see it on camera one, so let's go overhead. And I'm going to use this mat so it will focus in on this necklace so y'all can see it. Y'all, look how cute.
Look at it.
Can y'all see that? Can they see that, Sadie?
Yeah, get it real close.
Right there?
Ooh.
How's that?
Let's keep it there for a second just so everybody can take it in.
So these necklaces, this was inspired by a Christmas gift that I got a couple years ago. And I realized that a lot of people are wearing these bar necklaces now. They have their kids' names on them. A lot of people
move it up some, just a little bit.
Move it up.
Like towards the. Yeah, there we go.
Is that better?
I think so. That'll be perfect.
Okay, but this was inspired by.
Awesome, you're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the reason that I wanted to do this is because, first of all, it's super easy to engrave with your Cricut. And I wanted you all to realize that you can engrave more than just the Cricut materials. Like, we took this, it does take some learning. It's a learning curve because this is a very small piece of metal. So it's a little bit of a learning curve to get it right on your mat. But once you figure it out, y'all, it is absolutely amazing. Another thing that you could do is if you wanted to do it as like a wedding gift for someone getting married, you could do Roman numeral dates with the day that they're getting married, or Roman numeral dates of their first child's, the date of their child's birth. I'm obsessed with like the Roman numeral thing.
I love that too. It's not in your face, and that's what I really appreciate.
Right. So let's go ahead and talk about all the materials that you're gonna need. So first off is our bar, okay? This is the base of our necklace. So this is a pack. I'm pretty sure we have the Amazon link down below. These come in 3 different colors: silver, gold, and rose gold. So you can choose which one you want. Now, I will say, if you are doing the gold, this is more of like what a true gold would look like. So if you're ordering the chain to go on them, just be careful. If it was me, I would want to like go to your local craft store, or if there's a store that sells jewelry making supplies, just to see what that gold looks like to make sure they match up, because sometimes you can get these chains and the gold can be a lot more yellow and they may not match. So I would just be leery about that when you're ordering. But to start out with, you're definitely gonna need these bars. Next up, we have just a roll of link for the necklace part, okay? Now the reason we need this instead of just a regular pre-assembled necklace is because we're gonna be attaching this chain to either side of the bar, and then we will have to attach the lobster clasp, which this chain is very long, mind you. I've not cut this down because I'm going to show you how to attach the lobster clasps and everything, but you're gonna attach the lobster clasp, one on each side, and then a jump hoop on the other so that it attaches this way. But that's why you're gonna need not the pre-assembled necklaces, but the chain that you can buy on the roll. Okay?
Lindsay's wondering, could you just gift the bar, because I was worried about the color of chain also.
I mean, if you really wanted to, but then in the same breath, like, what would they put it on would be my next question. Unless you did it on like a keychain kind of thing.
Lindsay, I think you just use your best judgment and get something amazing. And we've also had someone mention like putting your kids like medical information on a necklace or a bracelet or necklace. That would be really cool. Like I have nut allergies, so that would be neat. This is like going to be a really great project. A lot of you are already thinking, hey, I want to make sure this is a project that I make as a gift. This is a great one. And Lauren, we are not seeing on there. Oh, we do have the, we have the whole supply list on here, guys. So open up the description down below. We have linked the Maker Series, engraving tool, mats, masking tape, bar necklace, necklace chain, and jewelry pliers. All of that is linked down below. That is an Amazon affiliate link, so we do earn a small commission if you use our links at no cost to you. Thanks, guys, for supporting everything we do here.
So the next biggest thing that you're gonna need, obviously, is your engraving. This is your adaptive tool with the tip number 41. This is the engraving tip. The thing that I love about the adaptive tool is that you can, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. But I'm not going to. Just give me a second.
You guys cannot hear all the rain. It started raining out of, bless you, bless you.
Thank you, thank you.
It started raining crazy here.
Yes, okay, so we are using the tip number 41. That is the engraving tip. It is pretty sharp, but what I was saying about the adaptive tool that I love is having this button so that it's a quick swap housing, and you can change that out for the debossing tool, the scoring wheel. There's so many different things you can do.
Ones. Yeah, they're always adding more too.
Yes, so I love that. You are gonna need a set of jewelry pliers. This is gonna be very, very helpful when it comes to opening up the rings that you're gonna attach this to the chain to.
You kind of couldn't do it without them, right?
I don't think you could. I would not be able to. So I do think you need a pair of, you don't have to have specific jewelry pliers, but as long as you have like needle nose pliers, that's gonna work. We do have wire cutters too, because that's what I use to cut this off the spool. Masking tape is important. Very, very important to this project, okay? And then of course we have a strong grip mat, and y'all, this is a pretty new strong grip mat. This is going to be important as well, okay? Having this strong grip mat to keep this bar down so that when the Cricut does engrave it, it stays where it's supposed to be. Super, super important. So those are our supplies. Pretty minimal. Now, I'm not gonna say you're probably not gonna have a bunch of this stuff laying around, but the good part about it is when you purchase all of these different bars and you purchase a roll of this chain, y'all, you could make what? I would say you could at least make possibly 10 necklaces.
I was thinking 6 or 7 if I was like a betting man. But I could see it being like up to 10.
I mean, if you're doing bracelets, you can obviously get more than necklaces. And once you get the hang of it with the first necklace, as you can see, I cut this chain really, really long. So I'm gonna have like excess that really and truly I could have used, if it was still together, I could have used it as one other side. So once you learn the length that you need to cut your chain, that's going to save you some material as well. But we'll talk about that, and we'll actually measure together, and we will measure how long each side needs to be for like an 18-inch necklace, a 20-inch necklace, 16-inch, whatever.
Yes.
Okay?
Now, we do have some friends just tuning in. So, Lauren, what machine can I use to make this project?
So the machine that we're using today for this project is either the Cricut Maker or the Maker 3. Because we are using the adaptive tool today, this cannot be used on an Explore series machine, unfortunately, but we wanted to still highlight that so that our friends that do have a Maker or a Maker 3 can use this. And also, so if you don't have a Maker or a Maker 3, you can make an educated decision later on down the road if you want to upgrade. Because the Explore series machines, they are great machines, but they don't have all of the functionalities of a Maker.
For example, the Maker series has 10 times the pressure.
Yes.
And hence today we are engraving on, what is this, metal?
This is metal.
So this is metal. We're engraving on metal. This is where that 10 times pressure comes into play.
Yes.
So if you only have an Explore series, this is one of the few live shows that we are using an adaptive tool that is not available for an Explore machine. So like I was saying earlier, sit back, relax, and see if this would help send it over the edge for you to invest in a Maker. Not that we want to sell you a machine.
No.
We are here to make an amazing project, and if you don't have an Explore machine, I think you'll still get a lot out of knowing this. Lauren even suggests get a bigger piece of metal and then cut vinyl. You know what I mean? This could be a really great practice for you to cut some really thin vinyl, which I think could be fun.
That could be fun too. But the good thing about it is we, the Maker right now, so the Maker series, the original Maker, which if I was giving you my personal opinion, my favorite machine is the original Maker.
It's a really good machine.
I don't know why I keep going back to the original Maker. It's not that I don't like the Maker 3. My Maker has never let me down. Like, it has never let me down. And right now, you can find a Maker series, an original Maker series machine for pretty cheap.
Yes,
like
for
I want to
sure.
say you can find them
$220?
I've seen them under $200.
Yeah,
We had a friend in our Facebook group, which if you are not a part of Maker's Gonna Learn, we have an absolutely amazing Facebook group. She had posted a picture that she found a Maker series machine at Walmart.
Amazing.
Get this, $151.
No way.
Yes. Yes.
Where is that deal for me?
That's what I'm saying. She was like, is it justified? I was like, honey, that's justified every single day, all day.
All day.
Yes. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to jump into our project. So before we go over to Maker's Gonna Learn, first thing that I want to do is I'm going to measure the size of my bar. So I have my trusty measuring tape here. And speaking of measuring tapes, if I can find the other one.
You want a Maker's Gonna Learn measuring tape?
Yeah, I want a Maker's Gonna Learn measuring tape.
Here, you can show them the Maker's Gonna Learn one. Ooh. And y'all, real quick, if you have not grabbed your ticket to Make-a-thon, we have sold now 400 tickets to Make-a-thon. If you want a ticket to Make-a-thon, March 4th, mark your calendars. The deal is going to end soon. So if you want a swag bag and get $70 off, don't walk, run over, claim your ticket. It's going to be huge. We're pumped. So get your swag bag and get your ticket now.
So I don't know if you all can tell based on my shirt and the logo on our new measuring tape, but we're obsessed with our new like little floral logo.
Yes.
But what we're going to do is we're going to measure our bar. So it's going to be hard for you guys to see, and I apologize. We are going to start this at 0. So we're looking at, honestly, we're looking about 1 3/8 probably for the length of our bar, and then we are looking at right at 1/4 for the height. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head over to Maker's Gonna Learn. And y'all, we're going to have to zoom this baby in today. We're going to have to zoom it in 200%. So what I want to do is I'm going to grab a shape. I'm just going to grab a square. We're going to pull that in. We're going to unlock it. Remember I said our height was 1/4 inch, so that's 0.25. Okay? And our width was 1 3/8, if I'm not mistaken, which is 1.375.
Ooh. Now, the difference between the Maker and a Cameo 4 is very different. I would definitely recommend the Maker 3 due to the fact there is more like easier software, and I do have a Cameo 4 in the office. It is just not comparable due to the weight, the pressure, you know, that you have. The Cricut, I think, weighs almost double of the Cameo.
For those that are new to our channel, I actually learned how to use a die cutting machine on a Silhouette. We do have a very basic beginner's guide to a Silhouette, which is great. But after I started using Cricut, you know, we all have issues with Design Space every now and then. No lies to tell. There are things with Silhouette Design Studio that I am obsessed with, especially on the business level of things. However, the software, it's just different.
Yes.
It's different. It's still, it's a good machine. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's just, I think it's a personal preference.
Yeah.
So back over into our share screen. I'm actually going to, I said that our measurement on our bar was 1 3/8, but what I forgot to tell you guys is I didn't take into consideration where the holes were. So let's go back overhead. And where the holes are, we're looking at 1 1/4. So what I'm gonna do, back over to our share screen, I'm just gonna pull this guide back down to 1.25, which is the decimal equivalent to 1 1/4, okay?
Love it.
So once we have our guide here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a font. So we're gonna head back over to Maker's Gonna Learn.
Now, to our friends that are on the fence about getting a membership, she's about to show you some of these. Is it technically monoline fonts?
Yes.
It's a monoline writing font, which is super, super neat, and you're going to love this. So definitely come in, focus in on this next part.
So what I'm gonna search now is I'm going to search monoline, okay? Not gonna search monoline. We are going to, let's try single line. Is that what it's under?
I think you just search. I think look under the category. Why don't we look under?
It's under sketch fonts.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so the monoline or single line fonts that we have here at Maker's Gonna Learn are going to be called sketch fonts, okay? What that is if you wanted to write a note with your Cricut, you're gonna be able to do that, and it's just gonna have one line. Whereas, let's just take this sketchy sketch font, for example. If you were to write this with your Cricut is going to outline all of these letters and leave the inside hollow. So what the sketch fonts do is it allows your Cricut to just do this single line all the way through, so it looks like it's handwriting, which I love. Another super amazing part of Maker's Gonna Learn with the fonts is the font preview. So if you know what you want to say on your necklace, all you have to do is come over here, type it in, and y'all, it pulls it right up. So let's say we want to do one that says, Sadie, throw me a name out.
Shane and Bailey.
Shane and Bailey, yes.
Okay, we'll do Shane plus Bailey.
Let's do Shane plus Sadie. Shane plus Sadie. Sorry. I was just thinking of names of some of our friends.
Okay, so we want to Shane plus Sadie, okay? So now you can scroll down through here and you can see which font you want. Now, one thing I do want to say with this necklace, if you are creating one of these necklaces, the handwriting fonts or the cursive fonts are not going to look as good as your blocky fonts.
Now, Lauren,
yes,
you didn't have to download any of these fonts.
No.
But you're getting to see exactly what it would look like when they're complete. Like when your project's done. So this is saving you how much time, y'all, from trying to download and be like, oh, I'll have to download 5 fonts and then maybe one of them will work. Oh, wait, none of them worked. This is the big difference, y'all, especially for Maker's Gonna Learn. You know these fonts have commercial license. If you see it here at Maker's Gonna Learn, you are able to use it, which we adore.
So fun fact, when I was actually creating this necklace, I really thought that I was gonna go with Albuquerque Sketch for sure thought that Albuquerque sketch was the one I was going to. But I knew I wanted to add a plus sign into this necklace. So I typed it in and I looked at that plus sign and I was like, that plus sign is not it. It is not it. So that's why I was able to go with a different one and not have to download so many. And I was able to pick the one that I wanted. So
Woohoo.
that is just my little spiel. Sadie, do you have a specific one you like the best?
Ooh.
I liked the Kayla. I do like the Albuquerque. Barefoot Joanna is another great one.
Wait, so did you use Albuquerque on your sample today?
No.
It looked like a Barefoot Joanna.
On the sample today, I used, give me a second.
You used Barefoot
I did
Joanna.
use Barefoot Joanna.
I can spot that font anywhere. Y'all, if you want to know Tanner's favorite font, it's Barefoot Joanna.
Barefoot Joanna.
I love it.
But this blinded light sketch is really cute too.
I love that too.
But I
agree.
remember looking at this one for the one that I made, and I was like, it didn't look right with their names.
Yeah.
But with
Yeah.
Sadie and Shane's name, I think it's cute.
Exactly why you need the software.
We'll just go with
tell ya.
Barefoot Joanna just because that's the one that we did use for this one. So what you're going to do to download a font is you're going to click this little icon that has the arrow pointing down. You don't even have to open this up. One click download, y'all. If you don't, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Then you're going to come down here and you're going to unzip this file. Then you're going to open it up, and then from there you're going to install the font. Now this is pretty much the same across the board. If you are working with a Windows or a Mac, it's going to be the same. They're going to download in different areas. Mac is going to download in your font book. Windows is going to download in your character map, but all you have to do is install the font.
Lauren is about to give y'all a video that's working with like your Mac, your PC, and your iOS. So all of the #1 softwares that you'd want to use for a font is about to be out. So that way we'll reference it and you'll have some really great training at all times. Woohoo!
So now that we have downloaded that into our font book, I'm going to come back over here to Cricut Design Space. Now, this is a trick that we've been talking about for the last little bit, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to save my project because I do have my guide here that I don't want to get rid of. So now my project is saved, and I'm going to come up here to View, and I'm going to reload Cricut Design Space. So once you download a font, if you already have Cricut Design Space opened up and you do not re-download it, or you do not reload Design Space, then it's not going to show up. Used to, it would tell you exit out, come back in, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do that now.
Praise the
All you
Lord.
have to do is hit that view and reload, and it comes right back up. And y'all, we can come over here to our text. We're gonna go to our system fonts because this is where you're gonna find all of your Maker's Gonna Learn fonts. We're just gonna type in Barefoot, bada bing, bada boom, there we go. Okay. So once we have our name or names or multiple names,
Yes.
Roman numerals, whatever, let me go ahead, let's do a quick little, because I think this is going to really wow you guys. Let's say you wanted to do Roman numerals, okay?
Ooh.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna bring this down. Sadie, when did you and Shane start dating?
Almost 4 years ago, so 29.
Do you know
Oh
do you
my
know the date?
gosh.
Do you know the date?
February.
Okay, so 2. So we're gonna
February
do
12.
II for 2.
Ooh.
We're gonna do 2 spaces. Well, actually, we don't need to do 2 because I don't want a period. But we're gonna do 2 spaces. What's
February
next?
12th.
February 12th. So that's gonna be an X and an II. A couple more spaces.
What year?
What year?
2019?
2019?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just say XV.
Here, I'll find it.
Okay,
Look, we
find
can
it real quick
Google it.
because I want to show you guys how you can do this.
It's MMXIX. And the best part is,
MMXIX.
yeah, you can actually just search Roman numeral 2019 and it just pops up. So
There you
that's
go.
super cool.
Okay, so now we have our Roman numerals here. What I want to do, I'm going to click on this text again, go to the end, and I'm going to click enter, and I'm going to put 2 periods in here, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my advanced features. I'm going to ungroup to lines. That's going to put my 2 periods down here. I'm going to select those. I'm going to go back to advanced, ungroup to letters, and then I'm going to take my 2 little dots and place them up here in between. Where'd my other little one go? There he is. I'm going to place them in between the Roman numerals.
Ooh.
I mean, y'all.
Ooh.
Do you want that one or do you want the Sadie Plus shape?
I feel like I would wear the Roman numeral.
Oh, she said she would wear the Roman numerals.
So I'm going to attach those together. Okay.
Look at that.
Then we're going to place it within. We're going to pull this one down. We'll delete him out. We're going to pull this down. We're going to measure it so that it fits within our guide. And then we're going to select both of them. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my guide. I'm going to turn it back into a basic cut. Y'all, this is important. Just hang up with me. Changing it to white, basic cut. I'm going to select both of those. We're going to align them center. Okay, so it's perfectly centered. We're going to hit later on that. We don't need that. I think I might go down just a smidgen. And then we're just going to make sure they're aligned. We're going to align them center again. Now, what you're going to do, okay, you could do it on both sides. You could do the name on one side, Roman numerals on the other. That way somebody can flip and flop back and forth. You can do that. That is a great idea, Jill. Thank you for that. But the next thing you're going to do, I'm going to hide this one because we're fixing to go to make it, y'all.
Woohoo.
This is going to be important when it comes to lining up your bar. We're going to select both of these. We need this to stay a basic cut because that way we can move it around on our mat. We are going to attach those together, okay? So if you're taking notes, remember we're going to attach our engraved portion and our basic cut together, okay? One other thing you need to do that I forgot to tell you guys, we're gonna come up here to our operations. We're gonna go from basic cut to engrave. Do not forget that. Your text needs to go from operation, from basic cut, down here to engrave.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Are y'all with me? Is anybody behind? Do I need to go over anything? Drop me a question. Debbie says it's too fast for me. Okay.
So let's just recap real quick. So you have your basic shape behind, and that right there is going to represent your actual blank. Am I correct?
Yes. So
now, with this, let's not worry about building it. Let's just look at it. Everyone, let's look at it and work through it. We have just added in our text, which is the Roman numeral dates, which is beautiful. I love the look of this. The hack Lauren did with the dots. I mean, it looks so good. Now, here's my question, Lauren, and maybe people at home are going to ask the same thing.
Okay.
Are we going to actually cut the shape?
That is a great question.
Or are we going to just never do that part of the cut?
We're never going to do that part of the cut. That way we can use our basic shape because your engraved portion is going to come before the basic cut. So what we're doing is we're never going to actually cut anything. We're just using that shape so we know we are lining it up properly on our mat.
Yes.
Because we are working with such a small piece of metal.
Yes.
It's tiny. So you have to be precise on where you line it up on your mat.
Now, y'all, for us that are here, and you may be saying, Tanner, I've never used my engraving tool yet. This is a great project to get started. It's cost effective. The links down below have everything you need. You're going to be blown away. So if you're overwhelmed, you'll be able to rewatch, but this is not too difficult, and I think you're going to really enjoy it.
Okay, so recap really quick, because I did have our shape of our thing as a guide for a while. You're going to want to make sure that it is a basic cut, okay?
Okay.
It is going to be behind your text.
Right.
Okay?
Important.
You're going to put your text in. You're going to line it up, okay? You're going to go up to operations. So let's go to our share screen. You're going to make sure you go up to operations for your text. You're going to make sure that it is on engrave. It's going to automatically go to basic. So you're going to make sure it's on engrave. So once you have your basic cut rectangle, your engrave letters or Roman numerals, you have selected both of them and attached them together. We good? Now we're ready to make it. From here, we're going to go to make it.
Yay.
Now, once again, y'all, this is tiny. This is tiny. So we're going to zoom in on our mat.
This
We're
part,
at 200%.
If I had to be honest with you, Lauren, this is the part that stresses me out.
Listen, it stresses me out too, because even, and I'll show you guys, you can see on this mat where I got it off a little bit myself. So
Okay.
I'm taking the tape off right now, but then I will show you guys which this tape on this strong grip mat. So let's look at this mat. You're gonna have some mishaps.
Okay.
You can see on this mat where I didn't line it up properly. So please do not get discouraged if the first thing that you do, it's not lined up properly. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Heck
Okay?
yeah.
So just make sure not to get discouraged. It's okay. We're going to get there. So back to our share screen. You're going to decide where you want to line this up. You don't want to line it up here in the corner. My suggestion, pick the corner of a box.
So go like 2 in.
Three on your, this is your X axis or X and Y. I can't remember. It's been a while. Anyway, so let's say we're going 3 inches down and then 2 inches across. We're just gonna zoom on in here. Remember y'all, we're at 250% on our mat right now, okay?
This is how detailed the Cricut can do. I mean, oh my gosh.
And we are lining that up right there in that corner, 3 and 2, okay? So where do you think we're gonna line up our necklace? We're gonna come over here to our little strong grip mat. Are we in here? And we're gonna take our bar necklace. Now you may want to wipe it off. These do get fingerprints on them pretty easy. And we're gonna take that corner and we're gonna corner that up there against that 2 and right there on the 3. Okay? So we're gonna scoot it on over, and this is a good, if you need to use your needle nose pliers, you can, to move it down or across, whichever way. And then once you have that there, you're just gonna take that and you're just gonna press it down onto your mat, okay? Now, to make sure that that bar does not go anywhere, we're gonna take our masking tape. Obviously, y'all need to get my nails cut down.
Wait, that's the first
long.
time. That's the first time Lauren's ever said that. Can we? I'm glad we're recording.
And we're gonna take our masking tape and we're just gonna tape the edges right here, right there over that little hole, and then we're gonna take some more on the other side. And we're just gonna make sure that this gets taped down.
Love it.
Okay. Now we are ready to go. So now we're gonna go to continue. And you can see here that it's gonna have engrave first before basic cut. So we're not even gonna get to the basic cut portion. It's just gonna engrave and then we're gonna unload our mat and be done. We just needed that basic cut so we know that we're lined up properly. So we're gonna go to Browse All Material. We are going to select metal, the 40 gauge thin copper. This works just fine. You don't have to do the metal works. And then we're going to select done. I want to put this on more pressure, okay? And then we are going to come over here to our Cricut.
So Debbie, you have to be mindful about how thick you make how thick of a bar you get. This one's actually surprisingly thick. I would say it's not too thin.
It doesn't bend very well. So
Yeah.
let's,
That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
address. Like, this isn't really a bendable, it's
No.
really solid. You do just want to get thin enough so that it can fit, in the Cricut.
Right.
Because of the bar.
yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here to our Cricut. I'm actually gonna make sure my star wheels are moved out of the way. You can see I don't have to have a lot of room, just enough room to where our star wheels are not gonna go over that. I have loaded in our engraving tip, our adaptive tool with our great engraving tip on it. I'm gonna load this into our Cricut. Nope, I'm gonna unload here in just a minute because that didn't load right. You're gonna definitely wanna make sure that it loads properly.
Yes.
Loading that into our Cricut. What it's going to do now, I'm going to press this, but it's going to pull our housing all the way over here, and it's going to make sure that we have the right adaptive tool in here.
I love that. And it really just does a little extra checking to make sure that we're all good.
So somebody asked, can you also put animals or insects as well, or other images on the bar? Y'all, this bar is so small.
If you
I don't
do
even know that it
larger,
can.
you know, if you do something larger, you know, like a 2 or 3 inch wide bracelet, that would be a great thing to do an image or something on. But with small stuff like this, y'all, simple outlines will
Yes.
get you the best result.
Yes, or if you did, there are like discs that you can purchase.
Yes.
And we do have monoline SVG images that you can use on those. And what it does is just the single line again would work great. And this is always the tricky part because I didn't watch it. You're not gonna hit this flashing Cricut icon again. We're just gonna unload it.
Love it.
Oh, there we go. Y'all see that?
Woohoo.
Look.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. And that's another thing. It may be, technically speaking, this one is a little more to the right than I would want it to be.
Okay.
But it still works. Like it's not,
Right.
doesn't look bad.
Right.
Like it's not perfectly centered on the bar. But that's just because I didn't, like I thought I had my bar in place perfectly. Maybe I didn't. But look how pretty.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
I'm obsessed.
Woohoo.
So now,
This is where it gets good. And we
Mm-hmm.
had a question from Lindsay. She asked for the items linked down below, does the bar necklace and the chain, like, are they complementary?
do they come
Color?
together?
No. Do they complement each other? Like if they order the two you linked, are they the right colors? Would they go together?
That I don't want. So if you're going with silver is a pretty even color. Like you're not going to get discrepancies with silver. If you're looking at rose gold or gold, I think they were the same manufacturer is why I linked them both, but they are not. I know that the ones that I linked, the bars are the ones we for sure ordered, but the chain, we already had chain in our,
Yes.
we already had some chain. This chain came from Hobby Lobby. So I'm not going to tell you yes
Okay.
because I don't want to be wrong. I hate being wrong.
Kirsten, you
Not
are
gonna
going
be
to
wrong.
love the maker.
Yeah. So we've already got this one. As you can tell, y'all, I cut this one. Let's go to 1. I cut this chain way long.
Yeah, it could be really low.
Way long. So let's do some math. We're going to math today.
Lauren's go math today. Tanner's go be right here.
So this is just for you guys to really fully understand and comprehend like how long you need to cut your chain for each side. So we said that our bar, what was our bar? 1 and this says like close to 1.5. So you have to take 1.5 inch, take into consideration 1.5 inch for your bar. So if you wanted to do an 18-inch necklace,
Yeah.
and what you would do is you would take 18. What's half of 18? 9.
There you go.
So you're going to have 9 inches on each side. You can do give or take a little bit because you do have 1.5 inches for your bar to take into consideration. So what I did not do that you all need to do is, first of all, ask your customer if you're making this for somebody, if you're making it for a present. Ask them what length they like with necklaces. Some people like shorter necklaces. Some people like longer necklaces. I'm more of a midway. I like about a 16-inch necklace personally.
Love it.
But what you're going to do, so we'll go back overhead. You're going to take your measuring tape and you are going to measure 9 inches on this side. So it's going to be about right here. I'm going to do a little more, a couple extra links just to be on the safe side to give me a little more wiggle room. So you're going to cut that, and then what you would do to keep it even, now that you've measured that, you're going to roll out the rest of your chain, and we're going to line it up as well. And then we're going to come back in with our wire cutters, and we're going to cut it at the same length. And the reason you want to cut it at the same length is because this type of necklace is not one that you can like move around. For example, let's go to one. Like I have a pendant necklace and I can move it around. This necklace needs to stay even on both sides. Otherwise your clasp is going to be on like one side of your neck or the other, and it's not going to be directly in the middle on the back. Okay? So now that we have both of our 9-inch pieces on either side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of my...
Look at Lauren go, y'all. Another, Lauren is teaching, and then Laura says, Lauren, your instructions are amazing. I believe I can do this if I get a maker for Christmas.
Y'all, you can definitely do this.
Yes.
You can do this. So what I'm doing now is I like to use 2 pair of needle nose pliers just so I can kind of have more control. You're just going to open up that ring, and you can open it up. I would suggest, instead of pulling it apart, I would suggest taking it and then going in opposite directions. Ooh. So it opens up like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my bar. I'm going to place it in the hole right there. Take my needle nose pliers. Remember, this needs to stay on the front. So now I'm going to grab this side of my chain, and I have a piece of chain right here that's I've cut off, so we need to get rid of it. And then I'm just going to hook it right here, and then I'm going to come back in. And the reason we didn't pull it apart, because if you pull it apart this way, you're going to have a hard time getting it to go back together. But when you separate it going front to back, you can just come back in here, and let's say I'm going to hold this with these. I'm just going to take these needle nose pliers. Now this is the tricky part, I will say that.
Ooh.
And we're just going to close this back together.
Love it.
In just a minute. Maybe. Let's change pliers. Let's do these. These have a flatter edge. So this one may take some time to figure out.
This is fun though. Like, people love jewelry making, and it's something permanent, and it's so neat.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to come back in here with this flat, the flat part of these jewelry pliers right here. And I'm just going to clamp that back down.
Love it.
And then you can also bring them together just a little bit. Now, if you really wanted to get fancy smancy.
Christina says, note to self, have a stand-up magnifying glass to make jewelry. Yes.
Yep, for sure. But what I was going to say, if you really want to get fancy.
I like fancy.
They sell those little soldering,
whoa.
like the little soldering kits.
Yeah.
Where you could solder this jump ring together.
Like shut, right?
Yes.
Wow.
That way you don't run a risk of it coming apart.
I love that.
So once you have that, we're going to do the same thing on the other side.
Woohoo.
So we're just going to grab our ring, find the edge, take our pliers, go front to back with opening.
Wow.
What's everybody saying?
Oh my gosh, we are just soaking it all in. I mean, people are mainly talking about like how great your training is, so they're loving that. What price point would you go in for making and selling these? So this is another project that, you know, may be really inexpensive for you to manufacture, but you want to take on the risk to, you know, may have to redo it. You want to take on the time commitment. So I would say at minimum, this could be like a $15 to $20 project because you're doing that customization. And again, you're taking on the risk of having to make it multiple times and things like that. Because Lauren said, it's not always going to be perfect. Like your first time and it's off center, that may happen. You know, we've made multiple of these and it still can continue to happen at times. So that is a great question.
I would definitely not sell it for $15.
Right.
I would sell it for more.
Oh, well, see, there you go. So, I mean, at minimum, you know, you could go up. This would be such a great one to definitely dive into jewelry making. If you're newer to jewelry making, you've never done any, but you love your Cricut, this is a great project to add, and maybe start doing them as gifts this year, and at the first of the year, start selling them and add it to your shop.
Okay, that one really upset me. It was not doing what I wanted it to do.
That's okay.
So, you know what? We may finish that one here in a minute.
Love it.
Let's talk about the lobster clasps.
Okay, lobster clasp.
Because what you're going to do after you get that attached is you are going to want to purchase. Daggone it.
Your mic
Keeps
fell.
falling off.
Oh no.
Let's try it again. Okay. You're going to want to grab some lobster clasps.
Okay.
I think lobster clasps are my favorite.
I love
That's
it.
a very hard word to say. Say clasps three times. Yeah. Say it 3 times fast. Whew. That's what I thought,
I
buddy.
need like a good deep breath in between each one.
So what you're gonna do, you can see here, this is the end, and this is your lobster clasp. Now, if you don't want this end, if you don't want like the adjustable, because as you can see, this chain that we have here could be its own adjustable chain.
Right.
Like you don't have to have this on the end of it. We're actually gonna cut some off of this, and then we'll attach it. But what I'm saying is, I would not purchase the adjustable.
Yes.
I would just go ahead and let this be its own adjustable thing. So what we're gonna do is we are going to come in here. Once again, we're gonna grab one of these rings. Now these come in a kit.
Yeah, these would be great Valentine's Day gifts. I've seen multiple. Joanne and Lindsay both were like, wait, great Valentine's Day? Yes, great Valentine's Day. You could also there's still time to do this for Christmas. Like,
Oh,
a lot of
absolutely.
this stuff I looked on Amazon, it's like, hey, it'll be here way before Christmas. So you can take advantage of that. And
Okay, last part.
Ooh!
Last part. Now there's a couple ways that you can attach. So we've got our lobster clasp on one side.
Right.
You can add another jump ring on the other side. This specific kit came with, and I'll hold it up so you guys can see it. It came with these little guys. That's got like a little hook on the end. I don't know if you can see it. But what we're gonna do, we've got it in our jewelry pliers. There is a flat end on it. So what you're gonna do for that, I have taken it, I'm holding it with the flat end right here, okay?
Okay.
Holding it with the flat end, making sure it's down in there really good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my necklace, I'm gonna put it down in there, and then what you do is you squeeze that until it's all the way around your necklace.
Wow. Woo!
Oh, I squeezed a little too hard.
Lauren, squeeze too hard.
I squeezed a little too hard. You know what?
But hey, there's room for improvement. I mean, there's room if you made a mistake on
There
that,
we go.
which is
Yeah.
so good.
You know what might be easier? Just using another jump ring.
Yes.
We're just gonna do this,
Heck yeah, we are.
and then we're just gonna add this to the end of our necklace.
There
you go.
did it! Yay!
It's
Oh my
done.
goodness, I love it. But yes, Glenn.
Really quickly, someone asked, would you use anything to make the letters and numbers darker on the metal? So there is a like a pen that you can get to darken that
Yes.
the engraving with. I tried it. It didn't make that big of a difference.
Because it's not the same as a lot of you may be thinking you could darken it like metal stamping. I will say metal
Yeah.
stamping goes a lot deeper because there's a heck of a lot more pressure than what the Cricut's doing.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that, you know, it's subtle, but you can still see it when you look at it. Like, it's not that subtle. It's harder, I think, for you guys to see it because of the cameras and the lights and everything else.
It's really hard. So our camera is really far away and we can't manually like zoom in or anything on
Right.
it. Like, it's very stationary.
But like sitting right here looking at it,
You can read it totally
you
fine.
have no problem.
I would like to find a way, and I don't know if the Cricut could do this. Again, there comes a time when we want the Cricut to do things the Glowforge only can do, and engraving like really thick.
Well, let me
lines.
just go ahead and say I tried I tried to do layers. So I tried to take the, let's say, Carson and Braden or the Sadie and Shane or whatever you're putting on there. What I did at first was I took that, I duplicated it 3 times.
Okay.
Layered it on top of each other so that the Cricut would engrave it 3 times over, and it didn't even make that big of a difference.
And
it didn't change anything.
Sometimes it won't, so you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
So, yes.
It actually kind of made it a little rougher around the edges.
Yeah.
Rather than just doing one swap.
Yeah. So metal stamping is a little bit different than using the engraving tool on Cricut. Cricut's very different than a $8,000-$9,000 Glowforge. Very different environment for each of these. So. Yes, oh my goodness. You guys are awesome. We love it.
So welcome everybody. We are going to be making the cutest little thing today.
Yes, so in today's video, we're going to be teaching you how to make faux, no-sew, first of all, no-sew faux leather patches for beanies.
Yes.
I am obsessed with these. Or leather patches on hats right now are really, really big. There are a lot of different varieties you can do with this, a lot of different things you can do. So I'm really excited to teach you all how to do these today. This would be an amazing last minute gift for someone on your list that you may not know what you need to get them.
Yes.
We're going to be doing a couple little Design Space tricks as well, so I'm really excited about that for you guys.
Honestly, a craft that includes leather is just something I want to be a part of.
That is, I think leather has a special place in my heart.
Me too.
Period. I just love I just love leather.
I like how it smells. I like how it feels. It just looks good. Like, I just love it.
Heaven to me smells like a leather shop.
Oh, listen, if y'all have been to Dollywood, you know Dollywood, you know the section. There's a section at Dollywood if you haven't been before, and you walk through, and there's like, they do the silversmithing there, and then they have like a leather shop and the hats. Yes. Oh, man, that is just a dream. It smells so good. I love it.
Love it.
So,
or a boot store. So, let's go ahead and talk about I had it hidden. Let's talk about this beanie. Y'all, I am obsessed with it. We'll go overhead
so cute,
so that you all can see it. The font we paired with this, which I like a thinner font, but you could do so many different things with this. You could do Mama and Minnie.
Yes.
You could do husband and wife if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, or just names. It open to so many different things. But this is what we're going to be making today. So let's go over the materials that you're going to need. Obviously, you are going to need a plain beanie. It does not have to be black. You can get whatever color. These are we got these from Amazon. It was a 2-pack, pretty cheap. I think they were like $15 for both of them. I know you can probably find these at Walmart. There's so many different places you can find these beanies. And you can even get the ones with the pom-poms on the top if you want to. It really doesn't matter. But you do need a blank beanie. We're going to be using the paper thin faux leather from 143. That is linked below for you guys. This one you can cut with an Explorer or a Maker Machine or really even a Joy. All you're going to be using is a fine point blade. So you can cut this with pretty much any machine that you have. We are going to be, now this is something that you may not have on hand. And these are the rivets. So we're going to be using rivets today. And that's going to be key for this no-sew look. The rivets are what's going to hold this in place. But then after we place those rivets under there, I'm going to come in with some E6000 and place it underneath this patch and then put some pressure on it and let it sit for a day. And that is what has really attached this patch onto the beanie. The rivets hold it in place and then the glue just kind of adheres those edges down. But even if the glue didn't stick completely, y'all, those rivets are like, it's not moving.
That E6000 is like duct tape. You can fix anything.
Yeah.
It's going to stay. It's going to attach forever.
Yeah. So that is the rivets. I do have a leather punch here. I don't think you necessarily would have to have it. I really think that a hole punch, actually I know a hole punch will go through this faux leather. I just had this handy. Actually, it was faster for me to find the leather punch than it was for me to find a hole punch here in the office. So I do have that. I do have a little rubber mallet that's going to help us with putting on the rivets. Of course, I have a mini easy press, some black HTV because we are going to be putting HTV on the faux leather, and then I have a strong grip mat for when we cut the leather, putting it through our Cricut. We'll just go ahead and go over here to Maker's Gonna Learn. Oh, here it is. It's coming. Let's go ahead and go here. So the text that we are going to be using, I'm pretty sure is Demonstrate.
It looks like Demonstrate.
I feel like we've used Demonstrate so much here recently.
It's one of the best fonts we have. Look at it.
Is it? Let's type it in. Look at this custom text feature that we have.
It's my favorite
That's
feature
not
on our
working.
website.
Okay, my project has now turned into my stuff. It's no longer projects or my projects. It's my stuff. I don't know about it.
Wait, does mine look like that?
I don't know about it.
Nope, mine still says my projects. I'm gonna need to update.
I don't know about it.
I like my stuff.
I do. I mean, but I'm just used to my projects.
Yeah.
So one thing that really changed my thinking the other day is somebody, and we'll go to one for just a second. Somebody said, Cricut updates. Why are there so many? Like, it irritates me. Why are there so many updates?
Yeah.
And then I thought about it. Y'all, there are so many updates. Instead of looking at updates as a negative, I feel like we need to change our thinking and start thinking of updates as a positive, as like, oh, wow, I'm going to get more up. Like, they're going to fix all the bugs. They're hopefully going to fix some projects. Maybe I get some new features.
Yeah.
And then every time we get an update, it's more like a gift rather than, again, really?
Because you have to reload Design Space and all that.
Right.
I think
so
that's why people probably
I think we
of
need
it.
to start looking at it as a positive. So we're gonna
Love
do that.
Yeah.
So this says font center, but banana pudding sketch. Okay, first of all, I don't think banana pudding sketch is on there. We're gonna use image info. Moonlight. I did not use Demonstrate.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come back over here to Cricut Designs or Maker's Gonna Learn website. Y'all, if you've not seen our fonts, let's just go to our front font page. We have some really, really good fonts right now. They are not currently loading.
I think we're not logged in either.
Oh, we're not, are we?
Yeah, sometimes on this computer in here, it'll log us out, like if we're not piddling around on it enough.
Oh, I see that now.
Yes. That Groovy Cowgirl font, if y'all are members and you've seen that Groovy Cowgirl font, it's so cute. Have you seen it? It's like wavy, but Western.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cute.
So, it's trying. Oh, there it is. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, very
Tubular is another one that I've played around with that I like. It's a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the font that we're going to be using today is Moonlight. But what I really wanted to show you guys is our preview custom text. So let's just say we wanted to put in a name and see which one looked best. I'm actually going to be putting Mama on this one because I'm going to have one for me and one for Asher, my little boy. But I'm spelling Mama different than everybody else does. Most people spell it M-A-M-A. I've always spelled it M-O-M-M-A. So that's what I'm going to be spelling it today.
That's Mama with a country accent.
That's
Mama.
how I've always done Mama.
It's
So we are going to see which one we like. You can scroll down and view them. But I think we're going to be using Moonlight today.
Love it.
That's the one that, not M-L-O-N. Let's try that again. That's the one that I had. So this is what it would look like. I like it. So what we're going to do is you're going to click download. What you will do then is come down here, unzip this file, and then you are going to open it up and you'll install it to your font book, and then you will reload Design Space. And y'all, it's that easy to upload fonts. It is that easy.
April's asking if you can use Cricut leather on this project, and you can. And is that Cricut leather, or is that 143's leather?
I thought this was 143's leather.
But you can use Cricut leather.
We
just
have
the
Cricut
same.
leather.
Yeah, we have it, and it's literally
Yeah.
like the same.
Yeah, so here is the Cricut leather. It's a little different. it feels a little different. So this one, I feel like Cricut leather feels a little bit more like suede. This one, for some reason, the 143 is a little smoother. But I don't hate the Cricut leather. Like this red patch, actually on that black beanie would be cute if that's the vibe you're going for.
Yeah, that would
So
be
yes, you can use, oh, this is actually faux suede. But I think this would look good. Like the Cricut faux suede, faux leather would still look really, really good.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to grab my measuring tape and we're gonna go overhead. And we are going to measure the size that we need our patch. So this right here, we're looking at about, I would say 2 inches in height. You could go up to 5 if you wanted to. Really, I'm looking at a 2x4 inch patch is what I want. And we'll bring this one in and I'll see exactly what I did for this one, which is a little bit, that's about what I did. I think I did closer to 4 1/4. Looks like I did closer to 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. So what you'll do is you're going to come in here back to Design Space. We're going to grab a basic shape. Now, you can decide if you want a rectangle with rounded edges, with hard edges, any one you want. I think we're going to, this one has rounded. So we're going to grab this one. It does have rounded edges. We are looking at already, we're going to change the height to 2. And then what that will do, it'll make it a 2x3, but I want it to be closer to a 2x4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and unlock this, and I'm just going to go to width and put it at a 4-inch width so that we are at 2x4 inches, okay? So this is going to be our base shape. We're going to be building this that you see over here on the side. So we're going to change that material color to the tan. That's the tan that we're going to be using for our patch, okay? So now, what we're going to do is grab this. We're going to take our shape. What I want to do is I'm going to be creating this line right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to offset, and instead of doing an offset, I'm going to do an inset, okay? So I'm going to do a negative. If you all have never done this, I love this little hack. You're going to do a negative, which is going to give you an inset, but I don't want it that, I don't want a 0.25. I want it about a point, I think I want to do a 0.05. Nope, see, that's too close. You can play around with it. Let's do a 0.1, see what that looks like. Okay, that's a little better. I like the 0.1, so now we're going to apply that. Now again, we're going to, this is selected. Our black inset or offset result is selected. We're going to put another offset on that one. So we're going to do another, you can keep it at negative 0.1 or you can go larger if you would like. I'm going to apply that. Okay, is everybody with me? Now that we have, and there's so many different ways that you can do this. This is just the way that my brain works. Now we have both of our offset or both of our insets that we just created. We're going to make sure both of them are selected. Then we're going to come down here to combine, and we are going to exclude. So what that's going to do is that's going to take off all that middle portion, so all the gray portion. So once you hit exclude, bam, you have a border.
Love it.
Super easy, super simple. So now you have a border to go around your patch. So now we have our line around. We're just going to come down here. We're going to grab our text. We're going to change it. Oh, this is different.
Ooh, okay,
What?
Cricut. Okay, Cricut.
That's way different.
I love that for us.
Okay.
That's great and beautiful.
Bookmark, recents.
Love.
Moonlight's on our recents. Huh. And I can even bookmark it.
Fancy pants. That's fancy.
Okay. So now I have the Moonlight font. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Mama. We're going to bring it over here. And I mean, it fits pretty perfect.
That's cute, girl.
It fits pretty good.
I love that. Mama.
But what you would do here is you would size it up or down, kern it, or not, move the letters around depending on what you want. I will zoom in so you guys can see. But that's it. So now what we're going to do, the next step that you have to do, you have to take your border as well as your mama, and then you have to come down here and you have to unite them together. Okay? So attach, unite, weld. Pretty much going to do the same thing, except unite is going to be able to let me come in here and just select, so you can see unite over here. I can come in here and just select mama and still move it around if I wanted to, but it's going to cut it. But when I try to click it, I have to come over here to this and select it by itself. But what it's going to do is it's going to cut it on the mat all together.
Right. So you're not having to place this
Yes.
border and then place the name at the same or at separate
Right.
times.
So if you were to weld, which is what we used to do, then you couldn't go back. If you saved your project and then decided, hey, I want to come back and redo it, you can't do that once you hit weld. Once you hit weld, it's permanent, it's done, no going back.
Right.
Okay? So combine just allows you to come back and change some things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom out. I'm actually going to select both of these, and I think I'm going to make it just a smidgen bigger. I said I could do 2 1/4, so I think we're going to do 2 1/4. Okay, so now that we have this combined, we're going to go to make it. This is going to separate it out on 2 different mats. You do need to make sure that you turn the mirror on for the black. We're leaving it the same for the tan, so we will cut our HTV first. That way I can be weeding that while the other is cutting. So we're just placing our HTV shiny side down on the mat.
And whenever y'all are cutting things that have this delicate of a font, well, for us, we love to use the Caesar Easy Weed for projects specifically like this, because any other HTV is not necessarily going to weed as well, and we use a lot of different HTVs, but I swear by the Caesar Easy Weed.
Yep.
Y'all, we did the little Christmas like place setting, and we did a little wooden deer like drink name thing, and I put a name, I swear it was like the tiniest name I ever saw in my life.
Yes, it
and
really was.
it weeded like butter.
Butter.
Like butter. So the Caesar Easy Weed, if you're wanting to do a lot of these especially, is going to do you good. It's going to work every time, and it's going to, as long as your cut settings are right, it's going to weed good every single time.
Yep. So I'm cutting this on Everyday Iron-On. That is my personal favorite to cut, the Caesar Easy Weed. I really don't have any problems with that. So we're loaded that into our mat, and we're going to cut that. Somebody asked where I got the rivets. I got those at I almost said Walmart, Amazon. I got those at Amazon, just so you guys know.
I feel like you could get rivets. Could you get them at Lowe's?
I don't know.
Well, probably Hobby Lobby too, honestly.
I would assume. So while that's cutting, I'll go ahead and show you guys. This was a pack of different rivets that we got. It does come with instructions to show you how to work these. It's pretty simple, but it comes with a setter and like something to help you press down on with, and it comes 2 different colors and like 3 different sizes. So you have silver ones and gold ones in here, so you could do really whatever you want. And they come in different lengths, so some of them are longer and some of them are shorter.
It looks like Hobby Lobby and Walmart sell these. So if you all have your faux leather and stuff already, or if you want to pick some up at Hobby Lobby, you can make these before Christmas.
So you can see there's one that's longer and one that's shorter. I'm wanting to say that we used the shorter ones with this one so that it would stay down. But we've got this is cut, so let's take this off. Boop. Now we're just going to load our faux leather onto our mat.
If you're using the shortest ones, those are 0.24 inches. Someone was asking about the size. So.
Okay. It doesn't have the, I guess when we ordered these, there was something on the front of it. I guess we just took it out and threw it away.
That had
telling
the
us,
measurements on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I did go on our Amazon store and see what we ordered. So I think what is linked down below is exactly what we ordered. So now we're just gonna load our faux leather onto our Cricut. Come back over here to Design Space because y'all, I'm the worst at remembering to do this. We're gonna change this, our setting, to faux leather paper thin. I've not had any issues. If you wanna cut it on more pressure, you can, but y'all, this cuts so easy. So we're just going to let that go through. Does Walmart carry faux leather? So I'm not gonna say yes or no on that because I feel like all Walmarts are completely different.
That's
like
a fact.
One Walmart that I go to will have a bomb craft section, and then another one that I'll go to won't even have hardly anything. Like they don't even have a craft section. Some Walmarts carry fabric, some do not.
Well,
so
that's what I was about to say because it looks like they have like some pre-cut leather fabric like in the fabric section on Walmart.com. So like I would check your Walmart, especially if you have a fabric section, and just see if they've got some like, it won't be in sheets like this probably. It'll probably be like on a roll, like a fabric roll.
yeah. So, and that's it. Boom.
Easy peasy.
Look how good that cut.
It's cute.
Okay, so now let's get to weeding our.
I actually bought, I'm so bad, like, I can make stuff, but, like, I just be buying stuff instead of making it. So don't be like me, because I could have made this so easily, and I literally bought a hat with a leather patch on it from a small shop on Etsy.
Well, at least you're supporting other small businesses.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So if I wasn't doing, but it's a real hat. It's not a toboggan. It's like a little flat bill hat for my little cousin. Oh my gosh, it's like the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so these are really, really popular right now. I don't want to say, like, beanies have always, like, been popular. But right now, those flat bill hats with the leather patches are super popular.
They're so freaking cute. They're like the cutest thing I ever saw, especially on like little boys. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Okay.
Gwen's asking when to know when your blade needs to be replaced, and for us.
So that's gonna be depending on how much you use your machine.
Yeah.
If you use your machine a lot, I would say 4 to 6 months, maybe not even that many times. And it really depends on what you cut.
Yeah.
So if you cut stronger material, then your blade is going to get duller sooner.
Like if you're cutting leather like this a bunch all the time, you're going to replace your blade a lot sooner than if you're just doing paper crafts all the time.
Yeah. Okay, y'all, look how fast. Now we're taking our Cricut Mini Easy Press heat setting of 2.
Are you pressing that on the mat?
I was going to, but thank you. I was just,
Stressing me out
I was just going to go at it. Listen, that's just how Now, does that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Does that make you feel better?
I can just imagine that being like glued to, I don't think it would happen, but I don't know. It was making me nervous.
I honestly don't leave it on there a ton. This stuff adheres pretty quickly. And I don't like the leather curling so much, so a couple good swipes. And now we are going to be ready to attach our patch to our beanie. Yay. So one thing I do want to say is I did this before putting my holes in the leather because I am, if you can see on this Asher one, I did put the rivets around the corners of this, so I still wanted, like I didn't want the HTV to stop, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna come in with my leather punch, and that's the smallest. I don't want it on the largest.
And if y'all missed earlier, Lauren said that you can use a hole punch
Yeah,
for
you
this.
can use a hole punch for this. I'm just using it, I'm just using this because it was easy, like I knew where it was in my desk. So what you're gonna do, hole punch, leather punch, whatever you have, you're just gonna take it and you are going to put a hole down here in the corner. So And this faux leather can sometimes, I'd say if you had a hole punch, it would actually be easier. I'm putting it, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch from the corner. Let's see. Maybe closer to a 1/2 inch from the corner. So 1/2 inch to 1/4 of an inch from the corner, you're going to put your hole in here. Punch your hole in the corner. You're going to do that on all 4 sides.
Someone was asking about using the faux leather from the Dollar Tree, and we haven't used the faux leather from the Dollar Tree because our Dollar Tree doesn't carry it that I've seen. Now, Lauren and Courtney went to the Dollar Tree last week, and y'all, they've got cup turners, they've got a resin.
Yep.
So I'm thinking like maybe we need to go and see if ours is carrying leather. Did y'all see any?
I did not see any.
Well, I'd like to try it out because we do use faux leather for like a lot of our crafts here.
We do.
And I feel like it would work just fine for this. Like I don't, you know, a lot of times there's different qualities of things in crafting, like especially HTV and like resins and stuff like that. But faux leather, like it is what it is.
Ooh.
Like I don't feel like there's going to be a huge gap between the qualities of it. So maybe we'll try to get some of that and see if it'll work. I want to make some of these hats for my family members because I think they're so cute.
They're really easy. So I'm just going through and making sure that I have 4 of each piece for our... Okay, so I lied to you all, or I didn't, but did I tell you there were 3 sizes or 2?
2, but in the Amazon thing,
There's 3.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think we've used all the little tiny ones, so I'm not using the tiny ones. I'm using the middle ones.
Yeah, okay.
Not the little tiny ones. I'm using the middle ones to
Those
go.
are 0.31 inches.
Okay, so the rivets that I'm using, the base is a 0.31
Or 8 millimeter.
8 millimeter base. Okay. So we've got 3. I need 1 more. There we go. Found it. Does anybody have any questions so far?
I think we've addressed them so far, but if anybody can think of any at this moment. Oh, Greedy Gambler Slots asks, what type of brand of leather is this? This is 143 Vinyls leather.
Yes, this is the 143 vinyl faux paper thin leather. This is what it looks like, the sheet. You can also use the Cricut leather for this if you wanted to. Either one would work. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to come in here. We're not gluing this down first. And the reason we're not gluing this down first is because I want to make sure I get my rivets in the right spot. And then I'm just going to come back through and use the E6000 as like a little bit underneath it. Not all the way across it, just so we tack down these edges. And then we'll place something heavy on it to press it for later, okay? So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to come through here. And if you want to, I think, I'm trying to think if I made a hole or if I think that's what I did. So I lay this down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our leather punch and try to just make a little hole here in our beanie. Now what I'm able to do is take my rivet, and this end is gonna go up through the back part of it, and then it will just pop through here. Okay, is everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go through, and I think I'm gonna place all 4 of them while we're doing this. So
someone was asking if you can sublimate on these. I haven't sublimated on this faux leather, but that website I was telling you about earlier, Lauren, where a lot of the people that have lasers, they get theirs from this website called Create with 614, and they sell sublimatable leather patches that also have adhesive on the back.
oh wow.
So you could technically sublimate this name or like whatever you wanted. You could sublimate a logo. Like I would love to put a business logo on one of these. So that could be a good option too.
Okay, so now that I have my 2 top corners done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my base. Now there is a concave So there's a side that dips in and a straight side. What you're gonna do is you are going to use, I'm pretty sure it's the concave side that we're going to be placing it. Oh, no. You're gonna use the flat side first, place it down on something hard, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna place that on top of it, take our front part of our rivet, place it down on top. It's a little hard with nails. And then it's going to click, which you all didn't hear that click. Really, you can do it with your finger. You don't have to have the anvil or the setter. And then you're just gonna click them in, okay? So we heard them click, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and y'all don't put these in the washer.
No.
I would not ever. I would hand wash it if I needed to.
So now what we're going to do is we are going to, we've got this, we've clicked it in. What we're going to do is we are going to place the concave end of the setting tool, and we're going to, oh, no, sorry. Y'all, I don't do this very often. Here is what we've got this. So there's a side that has some like a divot in it. What we're going to do is we're going to take it, still on the flat side of this one. We're going to place it over top of that rivet, hold it down, and now we're just going to hammer it down. And if you mess up the first time, it's okay. There have been so many times that I have messed these things up. So I'm going to take this off. Let's go back to one and we'll take this off real quick.
Someone was asking if you could do this with the Explorer. Any Cricut that has a fine point blade, which is all of them, can cut faux leather. So yeah, you can.
Yes.
Yep.
So as you can see, we obviously mess up too around here. So we are going to fix it. Because these rivets, if you don't hit them exactly where they're supposed to be, can be tricky. And see, look at this one, we'll go overhead. See how this one went sideways? That's not what you want. You want it to go straight down, and I don't know why it went sideways because I did have it straight down. But this metal is very...
I'm gonna link that website for you all, that one of the sublimatable patches. I think, let me see, Craft with 164 is the website. There's lots of numbers in these crafting websites.
There really are.
Hold on, I have a link. Because a girl that I follow on Instagram, Wooden Lush, she is a scroll saw artist. And if y'all didn't know, I do scroll saw work. So she does laser and scroll saw stuff. And I was like, where do you get your patches? I need to know because I wanted to do some like already adhesived patches so we didn't have to like figure out how to put adhesive on the back.
Right. And I tried. Where did those wire cutters go?
Oh,
okay. You know what? We just got it off. We got it. Okay. So let's attempt this again.
So it went in sideways? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it like went in the wrong way. Like it went in completely sideways. So we're going to attempt this again. We're going to grab another one of these. I'm going to move it over this way. We're going to bring this back in. Put it through our hole. Grab this. Snap it down on the top. This one came off a while ago, so we'll take this out. Snap it back down on the top. Then we are going to take our rivet, okay? I'm going to unfold this. Flat surface.
And I think this is something like once you do it over and over again, you're going to get better at it. Like the more often you do it, the better you'll get.
Take your setter, place it here. We're just going to give it a lovingly gentle tap to start out with. Then we're going to move over to this side.
Someone was asking about doing a vintage look on these. I feel like the leather patch in itself looks vintage, if you're asking me. Like, I feel like this looks like a vintage leather patch.
Yeah.
Naturally.
I think it's just this side that doesn't like me because the other side did fine.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know why.
It's looking cute, though. Very cute.
Okay, so once you have those two set, you're going to come back in and do the same on the bottom two.
So in my brain, which you said that you're going to add the glue at the end, in my brain, I'd be like, okay, I got the first two in, I want to put glue on. Would it mess me up if I put glue on and then did the bottom two?
I don't think it would.
Okay.
I think if you wanted to go ahead and put glue on it, we can, which we can do that now that we've got it set. What we can do is we'll just come in here. The only problem is when you are working with this, like coming in here with these rivets, like you're gonna be moving all of this around.
Right.
Would be my only issue.
Yeah, and yeah, I can see why that would be a problem.
So same thing. We're bringing this in the bottom. I didn't cut the hole in this one. Let's go back through. And I'm actually gonna move this to the smallest setting on that. Okay, so we're gonna try this again with smaller rivets. That one may just have to be bigger, I don't know. Maybe we can get it out. Or maybe we can just cut another one. Okay, so you do need the smaller rivets with this. It does work better with the smaller rivets. This one is already in. So let's go ahead and put this one in. Snap it down. So we're doing the 0.21 diameter rivets, okay? 0.21. Putting it on the thing, putting our setter. Y'all, did you see how much easier that was? Mm-hmm. It was because my rivets that I were using were too large. Too large.
We figured it out.
Figured it out. So now I'm just going to come back in here and put another rivet here.
Lauren's not turning the hat all the way inside out because if you turn it inside out, that back flap is going to try to like cover up what you're trying to do. That's
yeah, so if I turn it this way, that's what it's going to look like. Like,
it's hard to see what
because
you're
this
doing.
is what's going to flip inside out.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm trying to position and move everything accordingly.
These patches we created ourselves, Jeff, so they're actually just cut from faux leather that we ordered from 143 Vinyl, and we did link the vinyl below if you're wanting to order some. And they have like, I want to say they have like 8 different colors of faux leather.
They do.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 6. And some of it is like metallic. They have metallic gold, antique gold, pearlized gold, and pearlized silver. And then they have a distressed saddle and a russet tan. And we're using the russet tan today. The saddle is more of like a
Dark.
it's like more orangey. I don't want to say cognac because I feel like that's kind of what we're using today. But they've got lots of options.
We do love the paper thin faux leather for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So now that I've got that one in, that one corner just may have to be a larger rivet is all I can say. Now I'm going to take my bottom part. Now this is where you will kind of flip it inside out, set it down on it.
Oh, Jeff was wanting to know the sublimation patches. Listen, we might need to do some content around leather sublimation patches.
Yep, that was my problem because look how much easier. It's going like a breeze now. Okay, and here is my last little guy that I'm going to be using. We're going to come down here.
It's looking good. The final countdown. Is everybody ready? Speaking of final countdowns, is everybody ready for Christmas?
No.
Lauren's not ready. She'll get it together. I have no worries. If Lauren was shopping, a month ago, I would be worried about her. But the fact that she hasn't done her Christmas shopping yet, I know she's gonna pull through. I know you are.
I mean,
Lauren thrives in procrastination period. She thrives there. Me, on the other hand, I have to start shopping like 6 months in advance. I have to plan it out and make a Excel spreadsheet, and we're different in that way.
Yep. And that's okay.
That's okay.
That's on period.
That's on period.
Okay, we're on our last one.
Yay.
Finally.
Oh man, listen y'all. We haven't talked about our new little schedule coming up in the new year.
We've not.
But we have our schedule's going to be a little bit different coming here soon. I think y'all are going to really like it. I think they're going to be really pumped about it.
I do too.
It'll be different, but I think y'all are going to like it.
Okay.
So it's done.
Well, yes and
your
no.
glue.
So if you wanted to, you could be done right here.
Yeah.
The only issue is, let me see if we do it. Let's go. So the issue is when you put it on,
It's got the little.
yeah. It puckers right here. And that's just normal for the leather patches. So the next step you're going to do, you can do fabric glue, E6000, whatever. We are going to be using E6000 today. Oh, and this doesn't have a tip on it, does it? Darn.
A tip.
There's
on
not
it.
like a precision tip.
No. You can get a paintbrush. You can just wing it.
Well, we may have to do that. So we're just coming in here, and I'm just going to, we'll just use the back of the patch like this. Place some of that down, move it back to where it's supposed to go, smooth it out. Y'all could see, I don't know if y'all saw that, but I did a pretty large like dollop in there, and then what I do is I'm just coming down here and smoothing it out. And then this side is still wanting to like pucker a little bit. So I'm just gonna put that there, place it down, but instead of spreading this way, I'm gonna take it and kind of spread it back in toward the middle.
Yeah, April was saying that they do sell it with a tip. We don't have the one with
I
the tip
thought
today.
that they did sell it with a tip.
Yeah.
I was almost positive they did.
E6000 is so handy to have. It
So
works for
normally
lots of
they do
things.
sell it with a tip, so it would be easy with the precision tip to get in here and do all of this. We're just doing a little bit. Now what you're gonna do is you're going to want to take it, flip it this way, flip it inside out, and then I don't have anything heavy right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to place something heavy over top of it and leave it sitting for a day, and that way it will really adhere down to the beanie.
Yes.
And then it ends up looking like that.
It's so cute. It looks good. M. Sims was actually asking about Heat and Bond. Would you like to share your experience?
Let's come over here and I will share my experience.